But I suspect that if you have had anything to do with people in your life, then you have already discovered that we, cannot be held onto in any way whatsoever. Cannot be controlled in any way whatsoever. We have minds and thoughts, directions and choices. And to insist that it isn't so, it's just painful. I used to say relationship, romantic, all kinds of relationship was compromise. Equal parties meeting, what compromise is, an accommodation in which both sides make concessions that are equal. But what's good in the business world is not always good in the world of human relationship. Because I don't say that about relationship anymore, because I don't think human relationship is about compromise or equality. I think it's about, can you let go? I think human relationship is about what Buddha says. How deeply did you learn to let go? Release. I think if happiness depends on both sides making concessions or similar contributions or being equal, it's not going to be a happy life. Because it just doesn't match what's going on. In this regard, life is not fair. Take, for example, just because you're all into activating love for others, it doesn't mean that you'll be welcomed on equal ground out there. So to learn from that, let's not force our program on other people. Take, for example, just because you see yourself as loving and spiritual and kind, doesn't mean that others will agree with that or even see you in the same light. So we learn from that to just honor that you might not be welcomed in the same light that you see yourself in, but you've got to work your program anyway, with or without agreement. Your job is to love the world. Their job is to do whatever they want. Yeah. Take, for example, just because you're finding inspiration in the love zone, maybe even in the Center for Spiritual Living, it doesn't mean that they, in the rest of your life and world, are obliged to do the same thing or have the same experience, or that it should matter to them in the same way that it matters to you, or that they should use the same language or anything. Activating love for others. Oh, wait, we're going back to the first point. It's an inside job. It's about you. It's about what you choose to do with your life, the effect of which you may never know or may never be how you intended it to be. It's all an inside job. Your job is to love the world to the best of your ability, and their job is to do whatever they want. I suppose it's a joyous thing if you're willing to if you're willing to take a real good, honest look at yourself and how you are spreading love around the world. In other words, asking, what effect is your loving having on the people around you? Some good learning right there. Let's take some beautiful questions. I'll exaggerate the intensity of them for starters. The first one is, do I leave a trail of wounded and bleeding people behind me at the end of the day? But some people have to ask that, to become conscious of that. Okay, I exaggerate, so let's tone that down a bit. Do I leave a trail of disgruntled or discouraged or uncomfortable people behind me at the end of the day? Or you can tone it down a little and say, at the end of the day, have I been through the day correcting and adjusting people to fit my needs? Or maybe what's at the heart of the question is, do people enjoy being around me? And even more importantly, what can I learn from the people who don't? Because they don't go away either. They don't go away. They will come with you to a new continent. You know that already. I didn't. You see, what I'm thinking is that it's an inside job, and then becoming aware and realizing just how much power my words, my actions, even my moods and needs, the things that I have some control over, or at least a little, if I look at those, because I don't think I control everything, but I look at the place where I have got some choice and then try to become aware of the impact it has on people around me, and that by itself is a wonderful gift to be able to give to the world. The world likes that when we begin to start to become conscious of how we are spreading whatever we is across the world, Take responsibility. So I want to leave you with some specific ways to practice activating love for others. It's my program. You're going to make up your own. We're making it all up anyway, So, here's what I'm going to try and do this week. I'm going to try, just for this week, I'm going to try to be a little more kind, in my words and in my actions and in my thoughts. I'm going to try to be a little more polite in my words, in my actions, and in my thoughts. I'm going to try that. I know some people don't like this word I'm going to use, but I like it. It means a lot to me. It captures a very real frame of mind. I'm going to try to be a little nicer. I'm going to try to be nice in my thoughts and in my words. I'm going to try to be real with my thoughts and my words and my actions. And I'm going to try to be generous, a little more generous in my attention, in my acceptance, and in my thoughts. And I'm going to try this week to be a little more present with my attention, with my thoughts, and with my time. I don't know, you make it up. Generous, kind, nice, present, real. You do it first. And let the world follow. You know what I mean? Let us pray. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. I use these words to start this prayer to remind me that there is something, by whatever name, ground of all being, spirit or creation. Sometimes I call it mind, to remind me that all of creation has its origin in this movement of intelligence, of consciousness. All of these words together just to remind me that that's where I exist. That's where we exist, in this flow, this free flow of intelligence. And apparently the only steering device I have is choice, decisions. And so today with you, I decide whatever is appropriate for you to decide. I decide to be open to more kindness, to activating love for others. And I am acutely aware that through this decision that it is as if all of creation is conspiring together now to rush through this prayer. And so I am ready for what it brings. I let love have its way with me, and I entrust ourselves to it, to carry us safely, to be in the presence, to stand before that which represents the critical point of our learning and waking up and unfoldment. I don't want anything less. And so I invite you to let the next breath you take be deeper than the one before as we exhale into silence. And once again, a deeper breath. So that as we exhale, we begin to make our transition into that part of our service where we share. I ask the ushers to stand and for you to say these words after me. I bless this gift.
I bless this gift.
I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does good work in the world and blesses creation. Ushers, please receive the gift.
I'm going to have a little fun. There was a child in my life when I thought I had to do it all by myself.